Eric, you ready? Colton, you ready? Fight!
In full disclosure, I did a training video for BJJ Fanatics. Eric McConico was my partner. If you hear any biasness as I discuss McConico, I don't mean to, but I've known the guy for some time. He's taken on Colton Vaughn in the blue. Colton Vaughn, veteran of Submission Underground, coming to us by way of Idaho. Colton Vaughn is pressuring Eric McConico into the fence. McConico looks relaxed. McConico not only grapples when he has a chance, he's an MMA guy. So he understands aggression. He understands cage control. Many guys wouldn't want to be pinned up against the fence, in case you're wondering why Eric looks so composed right here. He was born and raised in a fence, if you will. All right, this is Brer Rabbit. There are no cornermen allowed. That has been the case during the pandemic. That will change in our jurisdiction next month. But there are no cornermen. There is a small studio audience of 19 people. Of those 19 people, due to date night, Eric's coach, Fabiano Schurner, and his wife are in the crowd. Fabiano has been instructed to watch the match and say nothing. I'm only sharing that with you because it would be an unfair advantage for Eric's coach to be in the crowd, while Colton Vaughn is not allowed to coach. Fabiano Schurner is here. Truly, he's on date night. They stopped by Submission Underground. His lips are sealed. Deja vu, because Vaughn's got an underhook and he's got McConico up against the fence. As much as I was bragging to you about Eric's relax and comfortableness against the fence early on, that compliment will turn into a critique if he stays here for a period of time. And while Vaughn might not have a lot of offense from here, as you're seeing, McConico has none. At some point, he will have to get himself off of that fence. Vaughn would like to drop down to a leg. He'd like to use this for a takedown. What McConico is doing a great job of is wrist control and his side whizzer. He's keeping Vaughn high. He's pulling him up. Vaughn's got to drop down to get to the leg. That's the game that they're playing here. That's what we call a fake, guys. McConico faked a shot. Vaughn went for it. I mean, that's how you know you got a good fake, when you get a reaction from your partner. Head to head here. Two bulls locked up, and now McConico's going to win the battle of driving across the cage. Vaughn, very smart. Waits till his back hits and spins off. 90 seconds to go. Got not only a wrestling match going on, we got a Greco-Roman match. We're upper body. Just as I say that, Vaughn drops down to a leg. McConico pulls him off. McConico very comfortable against the fence. Now, I'm starting to think it might be by strategy. I'm starting to think that McConico has a trick that he hasn't been able to pull out yet, but that he's looking for. There's always an interesting discussion, right? What's better, jiu-jitsu or wrestling versus judo or another grappling art? I would tell you, you could break it down even further. What is the most effective style of wrestling? And you've got three choices, right? You got the folk style, what you'll see in the high schools and the colleges. Then you've got your international styles of freestyle and Greco-Roman. I tend to like freestyle wrestling for pure grappling. However, I favor Greco-Roman wrestlers for MMA. It's a posture issue. Eric's starting to get in on a double here. Now it's Vaughn's job to pull him up. You'll see Vaughn's got that underhook. That's the arm that McConico needs. McConico needs that arm, but Vaughn's blocking it. That's why Vaughn's staying on his feet here. Good defense. Oh, now Vaughn's thinking about knee bar, Oleg Tiktarov style. We're finally on the ground, even as with 10 seconds left. Saw a quick view of Coach Fabiano Scherner, whose lips were sealed. That's got to be hard. Do you imagine Fabiano being in his shoes? Your guy is in the ring and could use advice, but you've agreed to give him none. I mean, that's a big ask, right? How do you even ask that of a coach? But deal's a deal. McConico's color comes up. McConico, I haven't heard. He did not defer. He is going to take the back. You can tell by the way both these guys are breathing that they have plenty of gas left in the tank.
Go!
Neither is near exhaustion. Conico on the back. Submission is your first choice. But there's another game being played here, which is time. How long can you keep him? McConico choosing to hold the lower body with his heels. He's even crossed his legs here. He is not threatening or even looked to be interested in a body triangle. Conico very strong. He could hold him here. Vaughn's going to need to move. I think Vaughn's going to get out. Yes, he is. Look at Vaughn, guys. Did you see the position Vaughn was in where, to use a wrestling term, it kind of looked like he was pinned, like his shoulders were on the mat? If the athlete, and in this case it would be McConico, but if he can get his shoulders to the mat, essentially he will be clear. Now that is not the rule, what I'm saying for you. I'm using a colloquialism, but essentially if Eric can pin himself, if he can get his back free and get his shoulders on the mat, that will, from a physiological standpoint, generally clear your hips. That is the rule. The rule is where are your hips. But I will tell you, you start to see a guy start to get his back to the mat, get his shoulders to the mat. He's generally in a safe position that's about to reset the round. Stop the clock, if you will. McConico is in the opposite of that, but if he pulls through, a reversal will stop, and to the second stanza we go. Those guys were acting like maybe the match was over. These guys are wrong. The stanza was over. It's always a game of urgency, right? How bad do you want to do something? How bad do you need to do something? And when you're the defensive man in these positions, the more urgent you are, the smarter you are. The more likely you are to stop the clock. However, if you use urgency in a careless manner, that's what's going to get you caught. So you have a balance. We're all watching thinking, hey, Vaughn, you need to get out of there quickly. Use your energy. He agrees with us, guys. But he's got to balance that with sacrificing position because he's got a trained killer on his back who only needs an inch. 1 inch. 1 inch in the wrong position. These guys are good enough, they will finish it. You're seeing Vaughn now. He's starting to kind of get his shoulders to the mat like I was talking about. If he can get them real flat, there he goes. See how his shoulders go to the mat? That'll break the position. All right. We are exactly halfway through the overtime. Vaughn going to take the back. Now it's McConico's turn. He's going to need the urgency with a balance to make sure he doesn't sacrifice position. By the way, Eric with these shorts, is he giving a tribute to Craig Jones? Or is that like a subtle challenge to Craig Jones? All right, Eric bringing his hand in. This is called answer the telephone. See where Eric's hand is, how he brought his own hand kind of to the side of his head? This defense is called answer the telephone. Oh, this is tight. Vaughn's actually got this tight. Vaughn needs a little bit better bite on his own bicep. Look at those fingers of Vaughn. Look at those fingers. He wants a nice deep bite. He's not going to get it here. McConico's going to be okay. Vaughn's going to pinch himself out, but each one of these seconds could pay off. These seconds could make a difference. You will remember, Amanda Lohan retained her championship with 6 seconds. Don't tell me a second doesn't matter. It matters. They add up. These guys are essentially even at the end of 2 innings. This is off the top of old Chael's head here, but I got the stop clock in the corner just like you guys, and I've been paying attention. This is very close. I do not know that either one would be meaningfully favored right now. McConico is going to need to hold on. Vaughn is going to need to go back to that word we've been talking about, urgency. McConico is adjusting here, which for MMA would be good. You start coming out more on top, you can start to get strikes. This isn't MMA. I can see the MMA mindset of McConico at times. I can see where he's having to reset himself. Things that he would do under the unified rules being different than what he has to do under the grappling rules. Vaughn with a sharp turn to his left could get those shoulders blades down. Vaughn with a real sharp turn here to the left. He's going to have to get through that big, strong arm of Eric, but could also get him free. 50 seconds have ticked down here. Those are 50 valuable seconds, guys. This is very, very close. There, he's out. That was the movements I was referencing. That's the movement that happened. 58 seconds. And I'm telling you, these guys were very even coming into this, even if that's off the top of my head. Start focusing and thinking about that 58 seconds, all right? Eric's going to want to get out here about 30 seconds, even a little north of that. He should be safe, but this is where he's really got to explode whatever he's got left. This is it. Eric's going to want to do the same thing. This is the same position that Vaughn just had to beat, where Eric's going to need to go to his left. He's going to need a sharp movement. He's going to have to deal with the big, strong arm of Vaughn. It's the same position, the one that Vaughn just figured out. Eric is going to have less than 30 seconds to do it. Vaughn is going to have to hold on for less than 30 seconds. Unofficial clock here. This is Chael's math, but I know I'm close. Vaughn looks like he's going to be able, even if it's a bluff, right? Even if Vaughn is holding you by a bluff, which is a very real thing in grappling. Hey, move this way and I'm going to catch you. Wow. Guys, I don't know. We're within 5 seconds here. We are within about 5 seconds. I do not have a feel. What do you guys think? Vaughn looks happy, but I don't know if he looks confident. I don't know if either guy is confident. I don't think anyone knows. All right, Eric just said his first words to his coach. That match is over. So that's okay. Kevin Keeney, you got me on the edge of my seat, man. Who won this?
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner due to escaping in the least amount of total time in the overtime rounds, out of the blue corner, Colton Vaughn.
Colton.